Alright guys, Rich here from the RCNetwork.com, and this is build update number 1 on my Axial Racing RR10 Bomber kit version. Now I've got to say, out of any Axial kit that I have actually built, this is probably not only my favorite build so far, but with that, you also get a lot more bang for your buck in this particular kit, and I'll go over that a little bit later. There was not only upgrades throughout the kit, but then there was upgrades to what you would normally expect to the upgrades. So really cool of Axial to include some pretty cool parts on this RR10 Bomber kit. Now you are going to need a few tools to put this thing together. You are going to need a 2.5, 2.0, and 1.5 hex wrench throughout the build. Also nut drivers, a 5.5 and a 7.0 pretty much throughout the build as well. You'll need a couple of cutoff tools, including an X-Acto knife and a pair of scissors just to cut them off the parts trees. Couple of specialty tools that'll definitely help out the build: a 5mm hex nut driver for your top of your shock shafts, the little nut on there on the piston, and then finally some shock shaft pliers and a 3.0 hex wrench for your motor mount. So how did the build go? Well, it went like a typical Axial Racing build. Now if you've built any of their vehicles before, it's pretty much common knowledge. Cut your parts off the trees, gather everything up. You have parts bags sprinkled throughout, labeled A through X, and you basically start opening up bags. Now with that, there's lots of debris left over when building this kit, so I definitely suggest keeping all of those bags in the original box, just so if you happen to misplace something, you got something there. Now, what's left over after you've built to this point? Now, I have not put body panels on it, and I haven't put the wheels and tires yet. Also, have not put any electronics in it, so pretty much what you see is kind of how it comes, besides obviously the labor to put it together and some paint in here that you're seeing on the interior. So with that, what's left over? Of course, we have a full set of 5 wheels and tires and some hardware in there for those wheels and tires. Tires look like these right here. Nice. I'm actually going to run these things. Maybe not the foams. I may go with some Crawler Innovation foams for these tires. So this is going to be a go fast rig, and I can't wait to get this thing going. So tires are awesome, R35 compound. You do have a whole bag full of just miscellaneous parts. Now, I said upgrades before. Upgrades came on this kit. You also get some of the, I guess we can call them downgrades. They're also included in the kit, like you have the upper arms for the rear, other bits and pieces that you'd find on an RTR version. So pretty cool that they're including all that stuff. Now, as far as extra parts, really nice that Axial includes an extra bag right here. Now, a couple of screws, you got a pin, you got a body clip, and a couple of extra pieces that it's just nice that they're including that. So late at night, you can keep your build going. The kit does include a pinion gear, and I believe this is a 12-tooth 32-pitch pinion gear, and I will be most likely running this right off the bat. Other things that's included in the kit, you do get Loctite grease and 30-weight shock oil for those king shots. We'll get that in a minute. Lastly, you do get a full set of body panels that you do have to paint along with the interior, which I've already done so. So really like this concept of body panels because super easy to prep, they're pre-cut, and easy to paint. And lastly, the owner's manual. What did I think about it? Well, this thing actually did pretty well. It was very well written. Everything was laid out pretty nicely. I did find a couple of mistakes, but nothing that the average RC builder couldn't figure out. Now, I noticed that there was a lot of parts confusion between the blue and the black parts. I think they were listing the black part numbers versus the blue, the king blue shock numbers. So other than that, a great owner's manual. Everything was very well laid out. And in the end, I got my kit together. So look at that. As far as the interior colors, I went with a total blacked out look. I really like the look of flat black, and how I actually got that was by painting black underneath using some of the new Pactra polycarbonate paint. Painted just this outlaw black underneath, of course, like any true polycarbonate paint. And then what I did was I peeled off the kind of spray mask off the top and sprayed it with this dull coat, the Create FX dull coat from Testors. Not truly a polycarbonate paint, but it definitely gave me the illusion of having a flat paint on here. So really like that idea. There's and no mind want these things to look like latex dummies inside of there. Thank you, Chris from Hemistorm, for pointing that out in a previous build. So, but you know, stock decals on there, everything looks pretty good. All right, so the RR10 Bomber kit version is outfitted with some pretty cool upgrades. Now, things you can't see is you get an all metal transmission. You do get their bevel steel hardened diff gears, both front and rear. You get these new links on here. Now, these are a little bit larger diameter links than what we've seen in previous version vehicles like the Wraith and the SCX-10, the 1.0 version. So these are about 1/4 inch in diameter. They are aluminum now, and they use a little bit larger rod end as well, including the in-between kind of threaded rod that goes in between the rod end and the aluminum rod. So super nice, a lot beefier, and nonetheless a great added upgrade. Now, what I am totally shocked about are the King shocks here. I've never been a fan of axial shocks throughout my many years of owning axial vehicles, but I've got to say they've hit it out of the park with these King shocks. Now, not only do you have the kind of icon looking threaded aluminum bodies on here, but you get the King aluminum adjusters right there, and also the King aluminum caps with the King logo on there. So one thing that Axial has released just recently are the King blue aluminum spring perches down here. So I do plan to pick those up. These are just the stock plastic ones, so plan to pick those up in a future episode. But just to take a quick spin around here and look at how the build has went. Everything's turned out great. Another upgrade that's included in the kit are these kind of sandwiched aluminum link plates for the lower trailing arms here. Nice upgrade overall. And we're just kind of spinning this thing around. Awesome. Well, guys, that is my quick look here of my RR10 kit version. I can't wait to show you guys how the body panels turn out, electronics choice. There's some cool stuff coming up, so stay tuned for that. Well, guys, that's it for now. If you have any comments or questions about this build, please feel free to post it on down below. And as always, thumbs up and subscribe. That's it for now, guys. Over and out.